Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Now it is actually March, you know, your minds are not deceiving you. It's actually St. Patrick's Day weekend, so if you're celebrating then I hope you've had a lovely weekend full of fun and joyous activities. But I never actually filmed the finale to my 12 Pans of Christmas project pan from December just there. So yes, happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. Let's finish off my Christmas project pan. That's the vibe. Although I am very behind in filming this, I did leave all the products from the end of December, so they have all been in my little Biscuiteers box, you know, appropriately themed. They have not been touched, so the progress is exactly where it would have been had I actually filmed the finale at the time that I should have filmed the finale. So let's go on to seeing what I achieved in the last month of that 3-month project pan from 2024. To start off, I had my Ombre Vitza Queen of Hungary mist, and this is where we finished on this one. So obviously this was brand new and full when I put it into the project. This was how much I used in the first month, so I did use a lot more in the second and third months of the project than I did in the first month. I did get into the habit of it. Obviously I knew from looking at the first month's use that I wasn't going to be finishing this or anything within the project. I may well put this into a future project pan because if I'm honest, I don't really reach for a face mist very often. It is something like with this one, I had it on my desk at work, and because it was there I would pick it up and use it because I had it in the project, because I was seeing it. But if a product like this isn't in like a project pan for me, it's not something I actively think about unless it's like on a hot holiday or on a plane or something where I would feel like I might be sort of craving that refreshing feeling of a face mist. This is the sort of product that I am probably never going to organically finish, so I'm sure it will be in a future project. But in terms of this one, I feel like we made a good start, so I'm really pleased with what I managed during my 12 Pans of Christmas for this item. The second item is my Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, now discontinued. And this is another one where I am very pleased with what I achieved in the 3-month project because I actually managed to finish this. So this was where it entered the project, update number 1, update number 2, and by update number 3, I did manage to actually finish the dregs of this, which I was really pleased about. You needed so little of this and it spread so far that I wasn't 100% sure at the start that putting it into a 3-month project was going to be enough to finish that much foundation, but we got there, so really pleased with that. It is done and I can get that into my empties because I do have a foundation usage goal for this year. Technically this should have been in last year's empties, but because it wasn't, the items were still in my opening figures for 2025, so I'm getting sort of bonus empties in quarter 1, which is a little bit of cheating, but I am very pleased to be having them in my empties, so better late than never. Next up I have my Becca highlight. This is in the shade Pearl. My goal with this was to use it 50 times. So for update number 1 I had used it 18 times, update number 2 I'd used 19 times, as in for each update. So that was a total of 37 uses by the end of update 2. So I needed to use it 13 more times to get the 50 by update number 3 or by the finale. And I actually used it 14 times before I realised I'd hit the goal and could stop marking it. So technically 51 uses. I didn't hit pan and I didn't particularly expect to, but I did get a really nice dip. I'm really pleased with it. I can also kind of see where the rings are, so I think if I put this in this year's 12 Pans of Christmas, my 2025 12 Pans of Christmas, and went for another 50 uses, I'm thinking I might get pan at that point. I don't know if that's a little bit too ambitious, but I think if I was to keep using, you know, into this dip here, I do think that could possibly be a pan in another 50 uses. Now, whether I would want to do that or not, I'm not quite sure. For those of you who were around when like the highlight trend was at its peak, you may well remember Becca Pearl was a pretty pigmented, pretty blinding kind of highlight. Obviously you do buff it out a little bit more than that, but it's very much there, and I feel like that's, you know, it's not the vibe of right now. I say whilst having another pretty blinding highlight on. I have got the BAM's Mary Luminizer on today, which is such a throwback. But yeah, I think because this one is white as well, like it makes it extra stark and extra blinding. So it is quite a look, which is maybe not what you want all the time in terms of 2025 makeup trends. I don't dislike it or anything, like sometimes you do want it, especially around Christmas, you can want that vibe. So I'm not kind of saying that I want to declutter it or anything, but I don't know if I want to do another full 50 uses in this, but I might have changed my mind by December this year, so stay tuned and we'll see what I end up doing for my 2025 12 pans of Christmas. I do think at some point in the future there could be a pan in this. We'll see. An item that I actually finished, which I'm very pleased about, is the Fresh Sugar Lip Caramel Hydrating Balm. This is completely done. I am very, very pleased. Obviously it was a little mini, but I still wasn't sure. It was basically near enough when I put it into the project, so I didn't know if it was realistic to want to finish it or not, but I managed it. Really, really pleased to be able to have this into my empties. I really like fresh lip balms. I like fresh skincare in general. It is quite expensive, but I do think it's pretty good. But again, a little bit like if you were around for like when Highlight was at its peak, you may well remember the fresh lip balm craze. They were the lip balms to have for a little while, and using this one has reminded me of why that was the case. You know, they were really, really good. So yeah, I would definitely get this again. I had an eyeshadow in my project pan, which if you were watching you may well remember I had a bit of an eczema flare up during the last couple of months, so I did not get the use on this eyeshadow that I really had been hoping to during this project. I'd actually been hoping I might have finished it, which I didn't do, but we did hit pan. So it has been repressed. I think it's actually been repressed a few times at this point. I have definitely, you know, you can see the bottom of the pan coming through again. If I keep this, I feel like if I put it in this year's 12 pans of Christmas, we would see the end of it. I feel like to be honest, I feel like another month or two, not even like a full 3 months, would probably finish this off. I might actually even put this in my 5 by fall project pan just to get it knocked out a little bit earlier, possibly. We shall see. I didn't quite get the use that I'd hoped to get within the 2024 12 pans of Christmas, but we do have pan. We did get a little bit of progress, and I don't think there's too much left. So I feel like this could be empty at some point this year in one of my future project pans, whether that is 5 by fall or 12 pans of Christmas. I feel like this is going into one or other of those projects, and hopefully we will see the end of it that way. Something else that I had hoped to finish that I didn't finish was my Elemis Superfood Vital Veggie Mask. This was one of the products that I weighed when this entered the project. It was at 58 grams. At the finale, this weighed 29 grams. So I basically did half it, but the 29 grams includes the packaging. So I'm more than half the product, if you know what I mean, because the product weight is not a full 29 grams of what's left. So I'm really, really pleased with that. I feel like there's only a handful of uses actually left in here product wise. I think I could finish this quite easily this year, so I do expect to see this popping up at this point. Maybe not quite my Q1 empties, but definitely my Q2 empties. I think this will be out this year with no problems at all. And yeah, it's a nice one because you can just put it on at night in place of your moisturiser and just let it sink in and go to sleep. So it's an easy to use one. It's not one that you have to like think about and rinse off, etc. So I do think this will go quite quickly this year because I did get quite a good amount of use out of it through the project, so that will have definitely sped things up. I had a perfume in the project, Chanel No. 5, which to me is such a Christmassy scent. Always love the Chanel No. 5 adverts, but particularly the Dancing on the Moon one that comes out around Christmas every year. Or well, it resurfaces, it's not new each year, it resurfaces around Christmas each year, and it just gives me festive, like warm gold vibes. I love it so much. So this is very much entwined with Christmas for me. So this was where this entered the project, and this is where it was leaving the project. So I did manage to get it down. I need to try and hold this very still so that you can see that. Can you see? It is under the label. Yeah, I think you can see that there. So I was really happy with that. I think getting it under the label is like quite a significant amount of usage. If I turn it on its side so that it's kind of not distorted by the bottle shape and the way that it comes up at the bottom, I think you can see I am over halfway through this now. I think I could possibly look at finishing this year. I have introduced my main project pan for 2025. If you've missed that, I will link it up in the eye for you to go and have a watch of. I do have a perfume in that project pan, but I think I'll finish that before it would get to my 12 pans of Christmas time this year. And yeah, I think I would need to be using it more than I've used it. You know, if you look at the last 2 projects worth of use, I would need to definitely up the ante on it this year if I wanted to get it finished. But I'm thinking this could be getting finished in this year's 12 pans of Christmas, so we shall see. A product that I have already finished is the Amika Dream Routine Overnight Hydration Treatment. So this was a hair mask that you put in at night, as the name would suggest, and you just slept in it, let it sink in. I actually really enjoyed this. I would use it the night before I was going to be washing my hair so that I could layer it on really thickly and then just put my hair up that day before washing it that night if I was doing it that night, or that morning if it was in the morning. I would definitely buy it again in terms of being a way to add that sort of intense hydration and treatment to your hair. But because you're doing it overnight and you are giving it all that time to sit in and work its magic, but because I was timing it before I was washing my hair, I then felt like it wasn't weighing my hair down. You know, I was able to get that benefit and then kind of wash it out, but I could still feel that it'd done something for my hair. So I think that was actually like a deluxe or a travel size that I had, that I probably got in a gift with purchase or something. But I would definitely actually buy the full size of the Amika Overnight Hydration Treatment. Another product that I weighed was my Necessaire hand cream, and as you can see from the state of this, I have used quite a lot of it. I have not quite finished it. Final weight in this is 29 grams, it opened at 77 grams, so we got a lot of use out of it. I would have liked to have finished it, which has not quite happened, but there is not a lot left, so I think this will certainly get finished this year thanks to making quite a lot of progress on it during this project. I have put a hand cream in my 2025 main project pan. That hand cream's sitting in my desk at work, so my intention is that if I use this at weekends and in evenings, I should be able to finish this one quite easily alongside that one. So yeah, hopefully this will be in my Q2 empties. Product number 10, the last product that is left, because 2 products did actually leave the project by update number 2. So the last product that I had to update you on for the finale was my Origins Ginzing mask, and this is another item that I have finished. I am really pleased. I don't think you can get this anymore, so I'm not going to bother talking about it too much. Even if you could get it, I don't think I would repurchase it. It was quite stingy if I took it too close to my eyes, although that may also well be because of the age of this. I think I'd had it for probably about 8 years, so probably shouldn't have still been putting it in my face, but I did, and we finished it and it'll be in my empties, and I'm very pleased about that. So there we go, that was everything that was left for the finale of my 12 pans of Christmas. 3 months late basically, well not quite 3 months, but like 2.5 months late actually updating you on. Thank you so much for watching and for bearing with me during this very behind schedule upload. I really appreciate you spending this time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!